WCBI News at 6 starts now.
A trail of destruction and for many heartbreak this evening. This is a view of Columbus from the WCBI drone. It shows the devastation left by the twister that tore through town late Saturday evening, destroying homes and businesses and killing a mother of two. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of WCBI News. 24 hours later, there is still utter shock and raw emotions after that tornado tore through Columbus. And a family is mourning tonight. 41-year-old Ashley Pounds of Tupelo died from her injuries that she sustained in the tornado. More than a dozen people were also injured. Now, as we're seeing things for the first time in light today, this was the heartbreaking scene last night in Columbus. The Hunt Intermediate School and Semscott Community Center both damaged. One of them actually destroyed Hunt Intermediate when the twister barreled through. United Deli, a popular gas station and sandwich joint in town, also taking a hard hit.
The building is damaged. One of my car windshield is damaged. The roof, I'm going to check in the morning. I see a little leak coming up, and I'm going to check it up in the morning. But inside, we fine. You know, around the building, we got hit a couple spots, but we check it up in the morning when the light comes, and we see.
We've been talking to emergency crews. They say they haven't seen a disaster like this in Columbus in many, many years. Well, now that the storm is over, there is a long road ahead to get the friendly city back to normal. A lot of residents are coming to grips with what is left of their homes and businesses today. WCBI's Renee Skinner was out today. She has reaction from the community.
We're not resting today, but we're thanking God today.
On this Sunday, instead of church, Happy Irby is tending to his home after a tornado roared through the city of Columbus.
Wind and water came through this part here, which would have been, it is our bedroom.
His family was at a birthday party when the sirens rang out.
My stepson spotted the tornado, came running back inside, and by the time he got inside, the lights went out in the bowling alley, and everybody got around in the corner and against the wall. And once it's over, we came home and found this.
Irby's home isn't the only structure that took a hit. On Waterworks Road, the street lights are dangling so low, cars can barely pass through. Uprooted trees and debris are sprawled across streets and roadways, making it hard for drivers like Key Malone to check on family.
I just prayed and God kept me.
Malone was grabbing a bite to eat when the sirens blared. She found herself right in the middle of the storm, not long after.
I didn't even know it wasn't no tornado, and I was riding through with trees and limbs and stuff. They just were falling, and every street I turned, I couldn't get through because trees were down. Power line were down.
Mangled power lines remain draped across the roadway near Martha Waltman's home.
I looked out my back sliding door and I saw a lot of wind coming and a lot of rain coming. It was raining so hard you couldn't see hardly.
Waltman was hiding in her hallway, hoping the storm would pass, when she discovered part of her living room was in her yard.
My curtains were outside the windows. It had sucked my windows partially out in the front.
This was supposed to be a new business, a new company in Columbus right behind me, but as you can see, not much remains after yesterday's storm. I just got done speaking with a man who says 12 to 13 people were trapped inside that building when the twister moved through. He says they all made it out okay. Right next door, Ralph Pfeiffer is picking up the pieces.
We're extremely fortunate that only about half of our building sustained heavy damage.
Here is the owner of Columbus Fire Service. He was in Tupelo when he got word what happened.
We'll clean up and rebuild and go back out there trying to make sure that everybody else is safe.
That was our Renee Skinner reporting. Now, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency says early damage reports indicate that at least 300 homes, 190 roads and bridges, and 30 businesses in 20 counties were damaged by weekend storms. Well, as of today, over 20 counties have made local proclamations declaring a state of emergency. In Lowndes County, state and local emergency response officials met at the EMA office in Columbus this morning to discuss a plan of action. NEMA Director Greg Michel says Road crews are currently in the process of assessing damage. He also says the governor, Phil Bryant, has been in contact with city officials in Columbus.
I spoke with the governor earlier today, and of course he expresses certainly his concerns about the damage that's been affected here. He will sign a state of emergency tomorrow, and from there we'll move out and do our damage assessments, and if we meet the required thresholds for that, then we'll be seeking federal assistance at that time.
And we want the citizens to know that we're doing everything within our power to get them all the assistance that we can get. That's from food, shelter, hotel rooms, and the power back on.
Now, Michelle from MEMA says the biggest issue emergency officials are facing is people coming to look at the damage. So he's asking anyone who does not live in these affected areas to please stay out of these areas as emergency crews do their work. You heard the mayor there mentioning the power outages. Well, when the storm first hit last night, over 4,700 people were without power. Crews have been out working all day to get the lights back on for everyone. WCBI's Cash Matlock joins us now live with an update on the power situation.
That's right, Andrea. I'm here in front of the Columbus Success Academy, which is formerly known as the Hunt Intermediate School. As you can see behind me, this is one of the more heavily hit areas. You can see a lot of damage here. We've got what looks like the second floor of the building is just totally walls are missing, the roof is down. If you look over here, you can see piles and piles of debris on the side of the road. And you can also see a lot of power lines down. Now, in regards to those power lines, I actually spoke with Todd Gale, who is with Columbus Water and Power. He says when this all started yesterday, over 4,700 people were without power. Now that number right now currently is down to 700. Gale says that road crews will be working through the night to try and get power back up within the next couple of days.
We're hoping that in the next 2 to 3 days, could be even as far as Friday, but it just depends on what areas are affected and how bad the damage and extent of the trees and vegetation to remove would be. The quickest way we can get it up is if we just have a clear work zone and we're having problems with people moving barricades or walking through construction zones. So if you could stay clear from those.
Gale says that the power is back up at the hospital as well as the water plant, and it's also back up in downtown as well as 45. Now, one more thing about the Hunt Intermediate School here. This has been ruled a total loss, and as far as the students, well, they're going to be bused over to Columbus High School starting tomorrow. And reporting live in front of the Columbus Success Academy, I'm Cash Matlock. I'll send it back to you, Andrea, in the studio.
All right, Cash, thank you so much for that report. We're going to turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, I do want to recap our tornado situation that we had yesterday. We actually had 5 confirmed tornadoes in our area yesterday. You have 2 actually confirmed in Tishomingo County near Burnsville. And then we had this storm that moved through Lowndes County and EF0 near Artesia. We're still awaiting the official rating for the Columbus tornado. That storm moved over into Lamar County and then Fayette County, Alabama. So that was yesterday. For the rest of tonight, we're looking at clear conditions, lows getting down to around 30 degrees or so. So a chilly night. Tomorrow, as we continue into the work week, mostly sunny, very nice, and highs around 60, Andrea. More in your full forecast coming up.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. Well, people all across the area are lending a helping hand in impacted areas in Columbus, truly showing what it means to live in the friendly city. Our Jory Talley joins us now live with more on volunteers.
Neighbors helping neighbors. It's what you'll find amongst all of the damage left behind here from the tornado 24 hours later.
Columbus is just a big neighborhood, and we saw hundreds of people showing up, carrying logs out of the backyard, helping people move their stuff, trying to store the things that hadn't been destroyed. And really, when you get down to it, the government will do its part, but the faith-based community and their neighbors are what really makes a difference.
People across the friendly city are working to help clean up and offer support all across tornado-scarred areas.
Offering sandwiches, chips, apple, bottled water, anything to help relieve the people that can't cook right now. We just wanted to come, be the hands and feet of Christ.
Passing out food, cooking, or serving it, volunteers are doing all they can to help those impacted.
I'm totally devastated over everything. That's why I felt like I needed to do something, and this was the best way to do it.
We even caught up with Ward 5 Councilman Stephen Jones, helping people affected by the storm.
This morning we went door to door trying to pass out breakfast to people that may not have had power, that wasn't able to eat, and then now we're just out here trying to cut up some trees in different areas, because of course the city will not go on private property. So we're just trying to make sure we get some of these trees to the street so that city can pick them up.
Jones, along with childhood friends, are back where they grew up, picking up fallen trees and the pieces.
I got a lot of friends of mine that that I grew up with. They're all out here volunteering. All this stuff that they have, these are actually friends of mine that grew up in this neighborhood or that associated with this neighborhood somehow, and they've all come out to help.
If you want to help with the tornado cleanup, you can sign up to volunteer to help at the courthouse or at United Way. We're also going to have phone numbers to call to get you set up with the right person that you need to speak with. Reporting live here in Columbus, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
All right, Jory, thanks so much for that report. Well, we are still dealing with a lot of flooding in our area. Much of northeast Mississippi reeling from days of torrential rains that brought all of that flood damage, and it's not over quite yet, as WCBI's Chad Groening reports.
It looked like a lake on Highway 45 between Shannon and Nettleton, and an oil rig sustained damage. Enville Road west of the Belden was closed because of high water. But one of the hardest hit areas was Sotillo, where a number of businesses on Highway 145 had flooding, and Saturday sandbags were assembled to prepare for another expected torrential rain. Alderman Colby Grantham has been spearheading the recovery effort.
We have a lot of businesses out here that need help, so we're out here to just do anything we can for them.
Now you're concerned about not so much what happened so far here, but what could happen, huh?
Absolutely. We've had a lot of rainfall the last couple of days, and we're looking at more rainfall tonight, so we're trying to get as many bags of sand inside these businesses as we can.
April Hopkins is the owner of AJ's Salon. They were busy preparing for the next round of rain.
Well, just with all the water coming in, trying to get everything put up, so hopefully we won't get everything ruined too bad.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, it has never come in here before.
And Hopkins is impressed with the way the community has come together.
Everybody's been helping all the other businesses kind of pack everything up and get the one sandbag that needed to, and it's been really good.
The water had receded a great deal in the Willow Creek community on Saturday, but residents there suffered a great deal of flood damage. Grantham says the city of Sotillo is seeking relief.
And we signed a declaration of state of emergency for the city, and so we declared that so we can help get city funds, and we've opened up a housing for people that need somewhere to stay.
Now what about state and federal funding?
Yes, so we have reached out to the governor and all the elected officials to help, and everybody's here to help us.
The flood damage here in Tupelo is quite extensive. As you can see, this church behind me has been flooded, and the road in front of it is completely underwater, right off of Highway 45. And the church parishioners will have to find someplace else to worship on Sunday morning. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
Well, yesterday's storms dumped so much rain on parts of Columbus. Parks and roadways are completely blocked off. Parts of Probst Park in East Columbus, take a look. Look more like a river. The water is almost as high as the utility poles on there off the highway. The playground and park signs are nearly buried in water. Caution tape was put up to warn drivers not to use this park as a shortcut. The water, they're hoping, should start to recede in the next 24 hours. Amory also experiencing flood damage. Take a look at the Bigby Baptist Church on Highway 6. It's almost totally submerged with the water going all the way up to the front door. The entire church parking lot is under several feet of water, leaving no way in or out. Pastor did not want to appear on camera, but did tell us that along with other church members, they've been carrying pews and other heavy objects out of the sanctuary. And as we go to break, a look at more flooding in the area. Here's a view from our drone of the Columbus Soccer Complex covered in water this evening. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It's one of the best tools to have in case of severe weather. Our Cash Matlock says a family-owned store in Vernon wants to make sure your home is safe, and they say a severe weather radio is a must-have for your safety kit.
This past week has been full of heavy rainfall and flooding all across North Mississippi. And it seems like it's all been building up to this weekend with issued warnings of possible tornadoes, flash floods, and large hail. And so the question is, are you prepared? Well, Susan Durham of Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon, Alabama, says it's not smart to procrastinate.
It's great to be prepared for a storm because when the storm happens, our transportation stops. It's hard to get packages shipped in. You know, everything becomes short supply. Many times people just say, oh, it's not going to happen. And that's when people really get hurt.
In fact, she says everyone needs one of these in their home, a severe weather radio.
Many times we're asleep when a tornado comes. It wakes you up. Also, a lot of people think that, hey, I don't need a weather radio because I've got my phone. Well, the app may not work correctly, or the satellite may be down, and you may not have service. And the weather radio is battery backed up, and it's great.
The owners here say the particular brand of radio they carry has improved over the years.
A weather radio is really much improved. Now the weather radio is specific to your county and to your community. So before they used to go off if it was something maybe an adjacent county, but now it's much more specific and much more reliable, so you can kind of tune in so that you're warned if you need to be warned.
The Durhams also say it's important to be stocked up on other emergency items like blankets, batteries, bandages, and flashlights.
Well, this is a great opportunity to take a moment and make sure that you're protected, that your family's protected.
And even though many young people today probably don't even own a regular radio, the Durhams say it's vital that everyone has access to a severe weather radio.
It may be a little more old-fashioned, but it's really dependable, and it can save your life.
And over the weekend in Alabama, people were able to purchase severe weather preparation items free from sales tax.
No severe weather out there this evening. Skies are clear. It's going to be a chilly night, a pretty nice start to the work week. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All quiet here on our Sunday evening, 5:51, no issues whatsoever. All quiet here. The front that gave us the active weather yesterday, well off to our east now. We are enjoying high pressure is coming on in. Some nice weather for our Monday. We need it much like today. We will start off on a chilly note. Temperatures down into the low 30s tonight. back into the upper 50s to around 60 tomorrow with a lot of sunshine. Let's give you a quick update on the river flood stage situation. The Tenn in Columbus leveling off, though, but it's about 166 feet. This is actually the 9th highest mark on record, so we are right around major flood stage, obviously, but as we go into early next week, by Tuesday and beyond, things should be improving, if not a little bit sooner. So we have to get all of this water down into the Gulf of Mexico. It will take some time. The Lux Palila here in Columbus, too, flirting with moderate flood stage. That will be dropping rapidly here now that the rain has stopped. But right now we do have some ongoing flooding issues. And in Amory, we've actually dropped a few ticks here over the last couple of hours, and we will be trending downward here as we go throughout the next couple of days. So we've been dealing with a lot of rain, then severe weather, now some sunshine as we get into the early part of the work week. 50s right now, 56 in Tupelo and Columbus, 57 actually in Columbus, 63 down in Meridian. So lows tonight down into the low 30s, about 31 degrees. The wind will taper off a little bit. And for tomorrow, city by city, upper 50s to low 60s around here. Winds will veer around to the southeast at about 5 to 10. Overall, a very nice day, just like today, not as breezy. Still a lot of sunshine. Great weather as we start the work week. No issues whatsoever from Mother Nature. Now let's talk about Futurecast here. Picking up on the fact that we won't have hardly any active weather tomorrow. We may start to see a few showers around on Tuesday. Rain chances, though, fairly low, it looks like, as we get into the early part of this work week. But as we get into Wednesday, rain chances start to ramp on up. Thursday, Friday, a better opportunity for some rain. Some 60s this week, cooler by the weekend.
Coming up, a look at some other news we covered yesterday. But first, another look at the damage in Columbus that is so hard to fathom. This view from the WCBI drone tells the story, though, as we go to break. A look from on high of Gardner Boulevard in Columbus. Welcome back, everyone. Here is a look at some other stories we covered yesterday. At least one person was arrested Saturday after the third protest in 3 days in Oxford on the Ole Miss campus. Saturday, 2 out-of-state neo-Confederate groups marched from the Oxford Square to the heart of campus. They want to keep the Confederate statue on campus, they say. Counter-protesters also coming in full force, chanting back and forth, wanting the statues removed. As security was tight, University Police Chief Ray Hawkins says well-planned police efforts kept everything from getting chaotic.
We had one situation where we had to make an arrest for someone who failed to comply with the directions that we were giving them, but that was the only reported incident that we had through today. We've had 3 protests in 3 days, And I think that our team has done an outstanding job of making sure that our campus was safe.
Now, there were metal detectors placed throughout campus. Everyone had to go through those metal detectors. The chief says pepper spray and brass knuckles were the only things recovered on campus. Well, thanks to a Tupelo restaurant, an 18-year-old cancer survivor is going to get her wish to go to Japan. Mugshots of Tupelo recently raised more than $20,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And yesterday, Zoe Henley was told that she got some terrific news. The restaurant had a special reception complete with Japanese items. Catherine Jackson is general manager of Mugshots in Tupelo.
We like to give back to the community, and because this was because the wishes were granted locally, this is a great event for us to do and give back to the community.
I know, it's amazing. I never thought I'd be able to go to Japan in my life. I take Japanese. I take them since I was 9 years old, and I'm really excited to have this chance to go to Japan.
Henley says she hopes to eventually use her Japanese language skills to work for a Japanese company like Toyota. All right, when we come back, a last look at the forecast. Stay with us.
More sun tomorrow, not too bad Tuesday. Some rain later this week, but probably not as heavy as what we just had.
All right, our next news is WCBI News at 9 and 10. Enjoy the rest of the evening.